Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser,
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
and this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am your host, Daniel Prue, and joining me, as always, are my two strandees, Darren Moser and Phillip Gilfus. Guys, I know there might be this big standing general order that people can't come and help us, but I really wish they would, because I'm kind of hungry.
Speaking of hungry, we did a few weeks ago, we did our, Star Trek recipes, Daniel, your show you did. Well, for Christmas, my wife bought me a geeky cookbook, and so today I made shawarma based on the Avengers.
Oh, nice.
So it turned out well enough, I suppose.
I was a little nervous you were going to say Kelpian. I'm glad you didn't. What about you, Darren? How are you doing?
Doing good. Actually, I really enjoyed the most recent episode of Punch It. I don't know if you guys have listened to it, but Shar and Tristan rewrite Star Trek 4, but with the next gen crew, and it's a lot of fun. It's very similar in the kind of issues we had to deal with when we rewrote it with the Kelvin crew, and it was like, do we still save the whales? What time are we going to? And it was very fun to listen to. So I recommend that. That was a good dose of Trek. Even though we got another dose of Trek because Trek's back for right now. It's been good.
Trek, it's back.
It is. It's back in. So we needed some help, of course. It's a Discovery Review episode. So we brought in first-time Trek herself, Andi. Thanks for being back on the show. And how are you doing?
I'm good, and I'm always glad to be on your show.
You know what I realized with that intro? This is kind of... It's kind of shifted the burden from you. This is actually everybody's first time Trek now. That's got to be a little different from what you're
I was
used
going to say,
to.
are people tweeting Discovery spoilers to you?
No. Because I see it pretty much immediately.
Okay.
Oh, it's hard. But the one thing I would say that is different is that when I'm first time trekking and everybody has already seen it, like the fan opinions have settled a lot. And like... Mm-hmm. Everybody's a lot
so
chiller about them. Like, they're not nearly as angry. So, like, it has been eye-opening to be watching it at the same time because people get very... Like, I'm trying to think back. Like, if you were doing this TNG style, the very beginning, like, people were mad about TNG, too. Like, you can see that, like, all of the angry
Every
letters.
Series, people
exactly,
are mad
but like I've
beginning.
never experienced it. So to me, I'm like, when did Star Trek fans get so mad? Because for me, I'd be tweeting
That's
on
their
stuff.
secret, Andy. They've always been mad.
Yeah, but like I'll be tweeting on stuff that they've had 20 years to settle over, and like no, and people didn't yell at me, but now people yell at me all the time. So, yeah, that's interesting. Maybe we could all chill out a little. Like that's my thought.
I can get behind that for sure. So yeah, so we're doing episode 2 of season 2,
Electric Boogaloo
of Discovery. So New Eden is the name of the episode. So how do we want to start this? Should we just do the?
I would say first off, I'm really glad that the ship tasked in finding these 7 signals has a spore drive, because apparently that's the only way we could ever get to them, because like we were talking about last week, because it looks like on the map they're kind of spread out over half the galaxy, and I think he mentions it would take decades for them to reach.
No, 150 years.
Jeez, like
yeah, I mean, no one's gonna watch a show where you have to get to a destination in 150 years.
75 years maybe, but 150,
yeah.
No,
yeah,
never.
Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, which I understood, but it was also kind of like, I guess, again,
which is weird, guys, because this Etch-a-Sketch I had from last year has the same pattern on it.
Why does Pike not know about the spore drive? I mean, like, is this like gross incompetence, honestly? Because
Well, remember they've been gone. They literally just
they
got
were in another
back.
quadrant.
well, no, I know, but even like in like a day, he should have been given like, this is what. Hey, by the way, do you know why we have these concentric
By the
circles
way,
that
the main
move?
secondary propulsion of the ship you're taking over, you might want to read the brief on that one.
I love that the Discovery captain tradition, whether it's sexy Lorca or as sexy Pike, is no science BS. We don't give a crap, you know. So it's like, yeah, magic mushrooms run the ship. Whatevs. Let's just press the button.
Press the button
I
and
also-
punch. Let's hit it. You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we were wanting another punch it.
I would also
Yeah.
like to point out that the Federation is like, no genetic manipulation. That's a no-go. Unless we need it.
Yeah.
And then that's cool.
Yeah, this is the
But
era
otherwise,
where their
no.
morals are, you know, well, but we got to win, so it doesn't
Also,
matter.
Anyone who's ever worried about morality slippery slope arguments, perfect episode. It's like, well, you know, we're only supposed to do this during the war, but this is kind of the, you know, I
This
mean,
is
we're
really
gonna-
bad, and on a scale of 1 bad to 8 bad, I mean, if it's bad enough, then apparently we could just do what we want.
I know this is slippery slope, folks.
But wait, hang on. Can we actually talk about this? Because this is part of my frustration with this season. I'm already feeling it. Why is this bad? We get these 7 signals in the sky. Why is this threatening in any way? What does this even mean? They don't know what it is, and why is it so
It's
like
red.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's bad.
I mean, he was really upset
if it
when
was
he didn't
green.
find his red thing that last time.
like why even use that as an excuse? He's like, "Oh, we'll get dispensation." Starfleet's really concerned about these
Red
signals.
spots.
Okay, I mean, so what? There's nothing really imminently threatening about these.
This is going to destroy the galaxy, Daniel.
Okay.
The stakes. The stakes.
You know,
have
it's
never been
almost
higher.
feeling like a Q being or something is like testing us, because there has yet to be a red thing. There's just been 2 problems for the crew to solve in these 2 episodes so far.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy, are you going to be cosplaying as Red Angel? That's my question.
No. I don't cosplay
No.
really. I mean, sometimes I wear a t-shirt that says Star Trek on it, and I'm cosplaying as a Trek fan.
See, now I can't think of the song Red Angel, Red Angel, where are you? Why did you make Spock go
Maybe like the
cuckoo?
Sarek family's just effed up. You know, I mean, is that just the answer? You know, Spock's having visions like in motion picture, or Michael seeing red angels. You know, it's just. The
Oh
whole
man, if we
family.
get a
It's just-
scene next episode where Spock's like looking up and we hear the boom, like V'ger tones, oh, that'd be amazing.
Would it?
I'm not saying it would
It's
make
the
any
same
sense,
story.
but it would be
It's
awesome for that
literally the same.
moment.
But then I mean, I have to say, I am enjoying season 2.
I am
Obviously,
too.
everyone knows I hate season 1. That's not true. There's just you know, on the whole, don't like it. Moments I do like. Season 2, like we talked about in prior episodes, if you take out these little bits of like, we're gonna do the galaxy's gonna destroy, you know, take that out. Just take off that cover. Good stuff there. Good stuff there.
That's true. If you take out the Red
enjoyed the
Angel
episode.
part, which is we have to have modern storytelling and an arc that's really obvious, then it's literally
You need to
just
have
2 episodic
the
episodes.
Spock family dysfunction,
Yeah.
and Red Angels. If you take that aside, there's good stories there, good moments.
That's
as
true.
I mean, we get my wife, you know, when watching Discovery with me, Jessica, Andy, because you pay attention better than me. What is the helmsman's name who was on the landing party?
Owosekun?
Thank you. I don't know how to say it. So
The best,
anyway,
That
so-
is,
AKA
that is,
the
that is
best.
correct.
yeah,
AKA
But, like, you know,
should
so
be on
he-
every landing party ever.
yes.
AKA
Dude,
should
that
be in the
landing-
main credits.
That
Give me
landing
more.
party was awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hang on. We're just moving at 1,000.
But I'm just saying, like that's a season 2 quality. Like maybe this is what we're doing. We're giving characters names. You know,
Yes.
She had her name
She
before.
had a name. Yeah. They just didn't use
no, like,
it a lot.
I'm learning the comm guy's name, who was just comm guy for a season and an episode.
That's true.
No, Bryce.
Yes,
He's
that's
been
his name now.
Bryce.
Well, to be fair, they are definitely focusing more on the secondary characters this season, much harder.
Because we
Um,
told them to.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree. My problem
We would like to go around the room and know the names of all the characters that we're supposed to enjoy.
I literally would see that post.
Could we just do
where, like,
that?
they're like, oh, we should do that.
Yeah, that scene was literally from fan feedback of like, we would love to know who these people are. I will say that it was both awesome and frustrating that they had her go on the away mission and told this really interesting sort of crazy backstory. Oh, she was a part of a Luddite colony on Earth, which seems crazy that it even exists in the 22nd century, which is and would be really relevant to this plot. And she has 3 lines in the away mission, and none of it
Daniel,
has none of
And
it
a
has
magnet? Are you going to forget the magnet?
None of it has to do with like the backstory.
I'm just saying, I was disappointed that one of the options wasn't Saru goes along, but he wears a bandana. They totally won't notice that he's not human.
And then there's
least
like a
line-
5-minute montage
or-
of them teaching him how to walk like a human, but he keeps messing it up and arms akimbo.
I really
think-
have to say that the way Saru walks with like his arms like swaying like seaweed is the coolest thing, and I love it, and I love Doug Jones.
I would have just taken a line where just a little tiny line where Saru, like when they're trying to figure out who's going to go down, he's like, "Well, I'm out." Like just something like that. Like obviously,
He should wear
like
a
it's like the
Shatner mask. A bleached Shatner mask. You can carry a
It
knife.
doesn't go well usually in movie.
Yeah.
So Robo Lady and Saru are instantly out for this planet.
Right.
I think that's about it. Everybody else
Well,
could
and
probably
Detmer, unless they can
Yeah, she's a little-
cover
she could
that.
she could be a pirate. You'd be good to go.
I mean, we were talking about how nice it is to see Bridge Crew. Can I have more like I am totally badass and stop questioning me moments for Detmer? Because
I
love
like
that.
Space Donuts. I think I'm gonna say is a possible episode title for this week. But we're jumping all around the plot. But
we are jumping all around. Let's try to just let's establish the episode, then we can start talking about the little pieces. So
Yeah,
basically,
take me to church on time.
So they're trying to chase these signals. Turns out the one signal is very far away from where they are. So they get to, and we talked a little bit about it. They get to use the spore drive to jump to the other side of the Beta Quadrant or wherever it was.
Yeah,
Can I
I'm pretty sure
pause
it's
the
Beta
button there?
Quadrant. Yeah.
I was like, and I guess it was referred to, but I just remember for a whole season and episode 1, man, if you use the spore drive against him, it's like you're gonna die. Your brain's gonna explode. But it's fine now. It's fine.
There was a moment when Tilly, I think it was Tilly, who was
Now it's more emotional trauma than physical trauma.
Yeah. So
there was a moment when Tilly was talking to Stamets, and she was like, "Man, I thought that the last time we used the spore drive was going to be, the last one for a long time." And I'm like, "Nope, you don't know the Discovery writers, Tilly. That's not how it's going to work." So.
To be
But
fair,
I like
that's
how-
all
Actually-
writers. Like Stamets is about to do one last job, and it's gonna be fine, and then he's gonna sail off into the
It's
distance.
almost like saying you have only a certain number of torpedoes and no way to replace them. And then you just kind of go like, that was a stupid thing to say. Let's just ignore that. That never.
Yeah, it's like Stamets is like, yeah, I just bought a boat. I'm like, oh man, this is not gonna go well.
I'm 3 days from retirement, kid. I'm really, totally fine. Oh, just one last jump. Last time. Yeah, that. Yeah,
One last jump.
Yeah, no.
So they get to this planet, and they find out there are some people there, like human beings, which is
Human
strange.
people.
Human people, in fact, yep. And interestingly enough, they came straight from World War III, which we get some canon here, some stuff that we've never seen before in Star Trek. And basically, there were people, I guess, civilians who took some shelter in a church from some sort of nuclear.
And a soldier too, apparently.
Yeah, and one soldier or whatever, and
From Call of Duty or Halo, whatever it has.
yeah.
The web.
And they were somehow transported to this planet. And that's all we know. We don't really know exactly what happened. We just know that these people then kind of mishmashed a religion together and have been kind of living like Mennonites ever since, I guess, is what we're supposed to for 200 years.
And apparently there's enough people to have enough genetic diversity to continue the populace because it's been, 200 years or something?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but to
like,
be fair to them, Darren, they did have a Wiccan and someone from Shinto. Like, they managed to get, all of the major religions into one church.
Yeah, one, it was like a weird Noah's Ark of religions. Whereas two from each.
It's really funny. It's almost like a writer went to Wikipedia and looked up religions by population.
Was it actually in order of like where you would find like Wiccan was last? I didn't notice, so it was like okay.
I mean, if you get your average 30 people together, you're not gonna get like the top 8 religions among them.
That's true. What part of America or the North American continent did this come from? Because
that's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, even if you did, they wouldn't just disagree. If there's like 12 people there and they all believe differently,
but there's only one church, Daniel, so they gotta do something.
Yeah, I was I mean, okay, this is my, Phillip discovery, blah, blah, get over it. I get over it, whatever. But I'm saying I hold this to a lesser standard now. And that's fine, right? That's fine. That's how I do it. That's just me. But so, like, it was just the people in the church, right? And the church quantum leaped.
Right.
Which, I mean, again, how many people would have been in the church?
Like I said, apparently enough to sustain a small population over 200 years.
You say that, Darren. This could just be a royal family situation here. So I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, let's say 50.
Okay, let's say 50.
Oh, hey.
It's a tiny church.
25 from each religion. Presumably, some people double bunked. There were two Muslims, two Muslim couples. But yeah.
So here's the thing, and this is the stuff that Discovery doesn't do well. It's like the sort of details of these sorts of the
You're not supposed to think too hard about it. You just
no.
The church got here somehow.
That's Discovery's just don't think. It's how I do Doctor Who. I enjoy it, but I don't think too hard because when you think too hard, things fall apart.
Yeah, I guess in certain storytelling it's fine, but it's like we're Star Trek people, so we're gonna think logistically. How did this happen?
And why?
What did they what rations did they eat?
And
That's
who
the sort of
knows?
stuff
Maybe
Star
at
Trek
the
people
end when we find out what the signals are, it will make more sense on why.
Oh God,
they
trust the writers. We did this a season ago.
I'm just saying, but I mean,
I did enjoy this.
Well, because I was under the impression that the reason that Discovery was signaled to come here is because of the radiation of the rings and to save the colony.
That was the reason.
That was their interpretation.
Right.
That was Pike's interpretation.
Right.
So let's get into it. So basically we get there, there's these people. Interestingly enough, I actually wanted to ask this question because I couldn't remember an example, but I was almost certain. He said the General Order 1, the Prime Directive applied.
Right.
Because they were pre-warp.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure we've come across other human people in different places before.
So there's two examples in TOS, the Paradise Syndrome. They also did General Order 1, and then one of the examples where they didn't care was Voyager of the 37s, where they're all but they were also ripped out of time in a way.
Is Enterprise. Now that's pre-General Order 1.
Right. The North Star.
That's when they met the no spoilers here, but when they met the human colony in the 3rd season.
The Wild West one.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of an iffy. It's probably a gray area.
Well,
overall.
I mean, is the argument? I mean, I think there is an argument that if you're, it's the human exception. Well, if they're human, who gives a blank? Well, I mean, I think there's still a cultural question. To leap people like 300 years in the future is a bit of a whiplash, but the human exception usually means, well, they're human, so maybe we should, be a little bit more about if they were just aliens, just black and white General Order 1. But
so my problem was that not only did these people, they didn't stay stagnant. These people fell 300 years into the past. They're living without electricity, like presumably all these people.
You mean technologically wise, not chronologically wise.
Daniel, do you know how to build electricity?
I mean, culture. No, but I'm assuming out of the 50 people, one of them had to be an engineer.
Well,
they were mostly religious people.
It's the infrastructure problem. It's if you literally they have a church and anything that was in it and it's like, yeah, you go back to like, not Stone Age, but like, there's just not, you can't build an electric generator because you can't smelt the metal because you can't build. I mean, it's just, there's nothing.
Which, by the way, I mean, not to think too deep. So, like, the church, I think, is sort of like the Walking Dead church or whatever. Like, it's sort of like you're watching a show and it's like rural, because it's not doesn't look urban, right? So, rural church, right? Just enough, it's like a bunch of wood. Okay, living in 2019 in the middle of the sticks where there's like a million churches here in the South, I would still find like microphones, a speaker system, like technology exists in churches even in a rural setting in the 21st
In
century.
2053.
Yeah.
The guy in the basement has like lanterns and stuff. Like he's got like little radio equipment. There's absolutely things that they could use.
Right.
And
Well,
like
again, I
you're
think the
saying,
big
Phillip-
thing is power. They could use it, but there's no source of power.
Okay. Okay, that's just whatever.
Again.
Look, let's just be
They don't
clear.
want you to think
if
about
Daniel
it.
is dropped into this situation, we would all be starting to
He'd do
play
way
Call
better.
of Duty like at the most a month
Apparently-
later.
So the Church of the Xbox is what it would become.
He
Are
would
you- this is a
build
cross? No, it's an X. You
an
can tell. It's
entire
clearly an X.
infrastructure for electricity with his bare hands, Darren, with his
That's
bare
right.
hands.
Okay.
And you would all be judged on how many achievements you have.
Oh,
I've played Fallout 4. I can manage a post-apocalyptic community. Thank you very much.
Those are the noobs. We keep them in a separate colony.
Okay, so obviously they're curious about this, and Pike decides to take a landing team down, an away mission, and it's him and Michael and that character, that the other character lady that I can't remember.
Teach me on it. So a wushu is that?
A
is that it?
wosika.
Owo Sikan.
Yeah.
Three
Owo-sikan.
syllables, yeah.
Okay.
Owo Sikan.
Or you could just call her Joanne.
The awesome lady who sits in the front in
She had a
Chekhov's-
mohawk. She was like Mohawk
Chekhov's
lady,
chair.
yeah.
She's
Who's
amazing.
from a Luddite colony.
It's
So-
from a lot of, but okay, whatever. We'll move on. We'll keep moving forward. So they take their away mission down there.
I want
And-
all the back characters to have super specific background. It's like, oh, we
Well,
got to bring
Lorca,
Bryce.
I
He's
made
from,
fortune cookies in my youth. Okay, that's good. I'll write that down.
Yeah, everyone has one. Like, oh, we got to bring Bryce. He's from the ocean planet where they talk to dolphins, and this is a dolphin planet.
Oh, hey.
So, you know.
She also mentions, so she says that they say she's from a Luddite colony, but her parents were non-believers, which is kind of a strange confluence of ideas.
They don't believe in nothing.
They
Science,
it's
religion.
really weird.
Nihilism. That's what they believe
That's
in.
right. They're anarchists. That's what they are.
So they all go down to the planet just to investigate, see what's going on, and they find out, yes, of course, there were the 8 great Earth religions that they just kind of mushed together.
By the way, are so easily meshed together. Why hasn't anyone ever thought of this before? It's just cut and paste.
It's basically what they did into that book. They cut and pasted, on the 3rd, 4th / book of Jonathan. It says this. That's basically what they did.
In my recap, I called it like a coexist bumper sticker come to life.
Oh my god! Like that's just over the door. Instead of this door will remain unlocked during business hours, it just says coexist.
This makes sense though. Daniel, the reason they haven't progressed that much is it took them 200 years to put together that one
there's
book.
one
That's
copy.
an endless committee meeting. Like, okay, how many votes do we have for our Shinto verse? Okay.
And apparently, if you aren't working in the fields, like that's a whipping. Like, man,
Yep.
I would have laughed if when they had said, because they were smart. Pike was clever because he's like, oh, we're from the north. I would have laughed. It was like, that's the ocean. There is literally nothing to the north of us.
To be
You're a
fair,
liar.
lots of planets have a north.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
Thank you.
That's right.
I really
yeah,
liked
so
that
just-
they met the All-Mother, and she very helpfully explained the origin of their entire society.
Well, it was
That
the
is-
national holiday. That's the day they showed up. So it's like, gather around, children, as we explain their backstory.
I know. I turned to Jessica. I'm like, I love it when you just meet someone and they explain the whole backstory in the first 5 minutes.
But I really
cool.
did truly like it because you got to see Pike, his handsome face, and the flickering fire, and he's like listening and like really thinking about this, and like
Oh, they combined all the religions. Yes.
Into one uber religion. No religion will take our religion down. It is a combination of all of the best parts.
It's
But
it's
what
just-
about science, Daniel? What about
Oh.
science?
Oh man. So there's a line, and I'm gonna just say this and just get it out of the way because it's the biggest MacGuffin. It's the biggest problem in my brain, and I'll grant the way that it's phrased makes it almost acceptable, but it's when Michael is presenting her case in front of the All-Mother, and she says, "What if I say science is my religion?" And I almost just threw out my TV. I almost just threw it out the window because science is not a religion. It makes no sense. It's not. You can't even equate the two. It doesn't make any sort of sense. Star Trek should know this. You don't
Wait,
just say
if Nacho Libre has taught us one thing, it's that I believe in science.
So the kind of themes of this episode are obviously, it's basically a faith versus science sort of.
Are there any themes in this episode?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Well, that's
There are definitely themes in this episode, Philip. Maybe they didn't work for you, but they are there.
It brought me back to the Deep Space Nine episode with the school.
Yeah.
Where that
Keiko.
feels so much. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Discovery where it just feels like it's rushed constantly. Like we're never getting a time to breathe or think or feel. It's just like, okay, the next thing's happening. Here it comes. And it's like in any other Star Trek episode. No, I shouldn't say any other Star. In traditional Star Trek episodes, we would have spent 25 minutes on this planet getting to know the people, getting to know the belief system. It didn't feel like that here. It's like two scenes where, okay, they mashed all the religions together. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, now we got to go. Bye. And then that's it.
Well,
that's how I felt.
Yeah. I don't know. Because again, I did enjoy this episode because all the dramatic elements, for the most part, worked. There's a lot going on, but that's not necessarily a criticism because you didn't have the whole Stamets Wilson. You have Tilly meeting
Ghost girl.
strange Welsh girls.
Yeah, that we're gonna unpack that later.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Welsh, by the way, my wife and I were struggling with the accent, but it was Welsh was our decision.
It's Guyanese.
And there you go. Because at first I was talking island, but then we were thinking like could be, but anyway. But yeah, but I think the stronger one of cultural development. I mean, that's the one I got that more than any religion and science, because I mean that just seems sort of you could have used anything. To me, it was more of the do you allow a culture to develop or do you interfere, and then that sort of, which I really thought, because there's not been that many episodes where they stuck to it. Like, no, we're not going to do it. And there have been a few, but I thought, oh, they're going to stick, and then at the end they're like, no, we're of course we're not going to, or special exception. But I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I understood it. It was fine. Happy ending, right? But you know,
Pike has his Picard moment with the lady that yeah, the lady that he beams up to the Enterprise.
Well, what did you think about, again, not to go out of order, but like the fact I like the scene where Burnham and Pike are talking in his ready room, and because like if season
redesigned
one Burnham,
ready room,
what?
Which is
yeah,
cool.
That's true. But I'm just saying, like season one Burnham probably would have not listened to Pike. You know, like the fact that she did and kept her mouth shut and didn't like be like, no, you're wrong. It's science is the best and religion sucks or whatever. But that was nice. Some nice development.
There's actually a couple of examples of characters learning from their mistakes from the first season, which personally I enjoy. That Ready Room scene is a good example of it, because not only did she not mutineer herself, but she also finally told Pike the truth about what was happening with her, which she never would have done in the first season.
See, so apparently if she had mutinied, then we have a new pattern where every beginning of season we have a new captain that Michael mutinies. Yeah. And it's got to be,
But Stamets opens up about what's going on with him, which he would never have done in the first season. Like, maybe they're finally learning to, like,
trust again.
Yeah, trust each other to tell. Because one of the things that I've always really, really, truly loved about Star Trek is some weird shit would happen to you, right? And you'd be like, hey, Captain Picard, this super weird thing happened to you. And in any other show, they'd be like, oh, I think you're just crazy. And in Star Trek, they'd be like, oh, well, let's figure out why. And it was always that. And it always drove me nuts about the first season that everyone's, like, completely closed off from each other. They never share information. And it drives me nuts because they could have solved so many problems just by, being like, this is what's going on with me.
Well, yeah, like Michael Burnham shows up in the very beginning of the first season, and it's like black alert, and she's like, "What's that?" And Tilly's like, "I can't tell you." It's like, why would you not tell her? It's kind of a important thing of what's happening on the ship right now.
I'm sorry, you
and
don't
I
have
think
clearance.
actually, this might be a thing because if you think about it, that whole atmosphere was completely put in place and maintained by Lorca.
Yeah.
So, like, now that you have a new captain, not just Pike, but Saru too, because Saru is awesome in this episode.
Oh man, Saru! Every time Saru's in the captain's chair, he just kicks butt.
I know,
Saru's
like the whole scene he had with Tilly, like, you're important. That was Picard level leadership to me, I feel like it's the first time we've really seen that kind of TNG style. Like, no, you're important, and we care about you, and we want you to do well, and we want to support you. And I was just like, where was this last season? Because everybody could have used this.
And I did like the fact that, that Saru does that, but I like how because of the war and because time has passed, I like that Saru is different from the beginning of season 1 Saru, where he's really upset he gets looked over for the promotion and things like that. Like, I actually like seeing that arc for him where now, he's not as confident as, like, Pike is, but he's getting there. And especially when they have to do sciencey stuff, he's way better in the captain's chair than Pike would be. Pike would be like, what should we do now? Whereas he's calling the shots.
And to your point, Andy, like in the middle of this episode, when actually it's towards the beginning of the episode, the first time they're meeting in his ready room, and he's like, "Do you have anything else that you want to tell me?" And it's like the episode is edited in like this weird way where you think she's going to tell him about her division.
Oh, I knew she wasn't.
Doesn't.
This here is Michael Burnham. Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't tell anybody anything. They were trying to make it clear that, like, she didn't trust him or herself in that moment, and she did by the end of the episode.
Yeah, no, I was frustrated with it in the beginning, and I'm like, oh my, just tell him. And then I thought it was going to be something stupid that they would drag along for 6 episodes, but they didn't. She's like, okay, I learned and I did it, and then I told you right now. And I'm like, that was great, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that piece of it as well.
I really do enjoy seeing the characterization kind of like moving forward. They're not stagnant, like they are learning from their mistakes. That makes me happy.
And I guess her revelation, her struggle at the end is supposed to be parallel to the other religion story, which again, but the whole of like, oh, I can't explain this, and I'm a science person, so I won't admit it to either Pike or really myself. And then now she's sort of opening up to the possibility of whatever this angel thing is. But I was like, I don't know. I get that that's a struggle, but she's not as Vulcan as she used to be, so I was like, I don't know if that really needs to be that much of a struggle for her. But I guess that was what we were trying to do there.
Yeah, I feel like her Vulcanisms have completely shed away. Like, she's basically human.
She's definitely softened a lot more, which is, I think, really good. And actually, that scene when she enters the ready room and Pike's like, "Don't make me laugh," I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
I was raised on Vulcan. Don't worry about that. And yeah, this is good.
The best parties were over at the Vulcan consulate. So.
Yeah.
He's like, after he Captain America's his way onto the exploding phaser.
Yeah, so there's kind of 3 parts of this episode. So I want to do the Stamets stuff and the Tilly stuff afterwards. Let's just finish out this storyline first. So there's a guy who is the skeptic of
it's like the descendant of the techie guy or the soldier or something.
Because
he was the AV tech on the church, and his generation passed down.
His last name, I believe, is Techie-san, because you maintain the same occupation your ancestor had when they landed, Daniel. I believe you know how this ancestry stuff works.
So his last
I'm
name
sure he
is
looked
PowerPoint?
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, he ran the church PowerPoints. That's funny.
the AV guy, he did the songs on the screen and everything. Yeah.
So he's a skeptic and believes that he just works in opposition to the rest of the people in the colony. And
I don't know that does he say he's a skeptic? He just happens to also be sciencey.
Well,
I took it as him being skeptical.
But I also like.
But
the fact
that's
that,
a false choice, isn't it? That you have to be one or the other.
No. Yeah, that's fair. But I'm just saying in the fact that he was more concerned about Like when Michael is asking the question, is there not someone here who looks at this a little bit more rationally, less through faith, more through
Can I talk to a manager? Is there?
Yeah. And that was the guy. That was the guy, obviously. So, anyways, the point is that he kind of, he kidnaps them.
He full on
imprisons
grenades them.
Yeah,
He
he stun
does.
grenades them.
It's a stun grenade.
Man, that's
not,
like,
I mean,
hey,
if
they
I'm
built those
getting
things to
grenaded,
last.
I'm not going to quibble about what kind of grenade you threw at me. You still threw a grenade at me.
Look, he used proper escalation. Please,
We're gonna
please,
fight,
please.
Phillip.
No, please, stun grenade. Those are just levels of escalation.
So the really important question we have to ask ourselves is, does he have a stash of these grenades and he's tried them out on small rodents before? Or did he just throw a grenade and not know what was going to happen and just, was just taking a big risk?
I think there was a missed opportunity in either the cam footage or like something sitting around on the workbench. I wanted to see the head covering from Encounter at Farpoint, where Q is talking about the battle in the third with the drug. I wanted to see that drug. He with drugs. Yeah, I wanted to see that so badly. But
Darren wanted a
Never
coke
promoted drug
subplot.
use. Of course he does now.
So this individual, he tries to take the technology to the All-Mother to convince her that, hey, this is real. We can go back to Earth and all this sort of stuff, which doesn't work. Which is, it's such a strange scene. And then again, it feels like it's
Because Pike is not dropping his line. I mean, we've never seen, because you would think, if it went on 1 second, he'd be like, you got me. But
well, and at the end,
he's staying.
I almost don't even feel like at that moment he's wanting to go back. He just wants to be accepted that his point of view is valid. I mean, that I think is at the heart of what he wants.
The best way to win an argument is counter-accuse.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I didn't know we were going to be stolen and get robbed. Oh, no, you're the one who's wrong. Maybe you're from another planet, huh? Give him our stuff. Good day, sir. I said, good day.
It feels really weird, first of all, that she doesn't just open the bag just to see. Right, I guess. Which is fine. So then, I guess somebody did opening one of the bags.
Stupid kid, as always.
And gave a kid the phaser. And I guess she tried to overload
Look, it's a
it or
PowerPoint
shoot it.
laser, kid. Use that. Have fun.
But we do get to see heroic Pike,
Yeah.
who immediately jumps on the phaser. Doesn't think twice about anything. He just jumps on the phaser. And then they use that. They say we have to go into the church to pray, and they get beamed away from the thing. So
yeah, and the
that's it.
lady's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And it was like, "What? Okay, you're kind of cool with this."
Which religion was that beams? Is it? I don't know a lot about Taoism. Is that which one is it? That
I actually did
It's
think that
Roddenberryism?
scene where you see both Jacob and the All-Mother see the transporter, and they both have completely differing reactions to it, whereas
Right.
she's like, well, obviously God just got them, clearly.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
like, obviously that's some technology.
Exactly, they both look at the same thing and come away with completely disparate conclusions, which is kind of the whole point of the episode, really. It's like the whole religion versus
It's a little on the
science
nose,
thing.
Andy.
It's like,
yeah.
how are you going to explain this phenomenon you don't understand? Are you going to use science, or are you going to make up a really cool story about why this happened? And I thought it was interesting.
The oversimplification. I mean, if my priest saw people beaming up, I think he'd think it might be technology. I'm just throwing it out there,
Hey, we've got literally in this episode, and they pointed it out. We have the old quote about any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, Phillip. So they pointed that up to us very upfront. So
And they're from the 21st century. Anyway,
That's that's the other
that's
thing.
why it
Yeah,
doesn't make
it's
sense.
they're people from that had Earth culture up till 2053. So it's like, hey, I know by then we had things like science fiction and other stuff like
don't they have a movie night? Every
Yeah.
old Earth culture has a movie night.
get Timmy on the bicycle pedal to generate that power for that projector.
They don't have any power. Ah.
Well, too bad. All we have to do is read books because they don't need power.
Also, the lack of any modern, a helmet cam obviously is the thing, but couldn't it be we have this old phone, where you have video.
Yeah.
Everyone uses.
Was there
in this
anything
time
else in
period.
that part of the storyline you wanted to talk about, Daniel? You said there was like 3 parts.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about the other 2. Is it, I'll leave that open to you guys. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about the A plot here.
I just want to
let's get it
thank
out.
the Discovery writers for making sure that phaser didn't blow up in Pike's face.
It's true.
Like,
It's beautiful, beautiful face.
is
Yeah, everyone
sculpted
knows
by
if you land on it
Angel's face.
right here. Yeah.
Like, if they
Well, I like
wanted
the-
proof of a higher power, why didn't they just point their way to Pike's jawline? Boom.
Well, the end
Done.
of that first arc is, I mean, that's why I guess I was meaning, like, did we want to talk about the end where he comes back and talks to him and he's basically, like, confirming, you know, he's like, hey, you were right, but I can't change your entire world, you know, over this. But here's a, 80,000 year battery and,
Good luck.
We'll be in touch. Yeah, good luck. I'm like,
All the lights came on. I'm sure he'll be able to explain that. Yeah, no, guys.
well, I'm
I
not
was
worried
late
about
night
him explaining it. It's more like,
messing
what
around
is
the
the
lab.
All-Mother going to explain it?
God,
Well,
apparently, 'cause that's all she
that's
knows,
easy.
right?
She'll just say it's a miracle or whatever.
And then he'll be like, really? Because I'm going to use my scientific power, chug, chug, to turn them on and off whenever I so decide.
Oh, boy.
It is. I mean, we've had an example of this type of scene in lots of other Star Trek. We've seen where the captain goes and interacts with the one person of that society where they're the only ones that are ready for it, the only ones that are prepared. And so this one was, I would say, just on par with all the other ones. I enjoyed it. It is kind of like you just broke your own rule, the one that you spent all episode telling other people not to break. But I guess it was also kind of, I mean, was it like, why was his motivation to do it to get the helmet cam? But what did
Right.
he think he was going to get out of that other than some old footage?
Well,
I guess
because
the
it's
mechanism,
the only
'cause
clue
you don't
they
know.
have to go towards the Red
Yeah.
Angel. And the Red Angel was in the stained glass, so they know there's a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Because this group is supposed to be kind of like, what, like 1800s level technology, sort of? Like, because, I mean, that's where, like you were saying, Philip, like what buildings were brought, because, yeah, the church they've established was brought, but you look at the other buildings and they're, they're nice. They're not, tense. I mean, it's been 200 years, but still.
I'd still
Yeah.
be in a tent.
Yeah, they
They want me to,
I'm not
like,
in, but
Well, I'm glad
All
Daniel was
the
in that
words
church,
together,
because that
that's
really
not
helped.
happening.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's good enough. We can move on to some of the
Well,
other.
because I
aspects of
thought
this.
the ending, because I was sort of like, again, what we were saying with Pike breaking his own whatever principles, but the whole like, oh, I see, because then the guy turned off the distress call and his whole family, because again, apparently he just passed down neuroses, can now move on and do other things, because that's all they've been caring about is trying to find out the mystery of if there's other people out there, which was nice. But then at the other hand, I'm like, but that's the earlier thing of where Pike's like, yeah, I feel sorry for the guy, but we can't change our whole policy just because we met a nice guy or something. And I'm kind of like, that's kind of how you do things, You don't. Well,
Yeah, and
we
I
don't
was
wanna
because
let- we
I
don't wanna
was
let this guy cry.
I was
so
almost
let's just
surprised
break
that
our
the guy
policy.
wasn't like, take me with you, please. Because honestly, going
mean
on that
Saruing
ship
it?
would be way better than anything is going on in his life right now. On the
I wish
there was a crew member who lived in a pre-warp society who was chosen by Starfleet to join them. I wish they'd
I mean,
shown
this
that
is
earlier.
this is
Some sort of
definitely not
short
the first or
episode.
last time this has happened. Kirk does the same thing in Star Trek. 4.
Saru!
Well, Saru, obviously.
I'm
Yeah.
talking-
we know what
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
talking about. Yes.
And there was another example. I think I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was expecting the same sort of thing. Like I thought he was going to come with. Like Pike was going to be like, "Hey, you want to come with
Well,
us?"
every time we bring on a person from that we didn't know about their backstory, he turns into a
Klingon
Klingon.
agent.
So maybe
they're
that's
worried
why
about
they didn't
that.
bring him on, because he was
I don't know.
actually
Do you
a
think
Klingon
Pike knows
disguise.
about the Klingons even at this point?
He hasn't
I
been
don't know.
briefed.
He hasn't been briefed yet. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Tilly and her experience throughout this episode, because she goes through. Well, I don't know. Is she hallucinating? What do we think? What was our initial thoughts on this? Did she bump her head too hard when the asteroid pushed her against the wall, or is this somehow connected to the Red Angel stuff? Which, God, I hope not. Please no.
Gosh, it's just a ghost girl.
Yeah.
Or is it just a ghost? I guess?
Well, you know, the simplest answer is obviously what it's gonna be.
Are you really gonna try and
Occam's razor.
pretend like ghosts aren't real in this universe? We saw Crusher bang a ghost candle. Like, come on.
It's true.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost girl. What's that? What's that episode in
which-
TNG where it's like the little ghost girl and she's got like glowing laser eyes? What's that?
Oh yeah.
What's that?
Oh
episode?
yeah. With the it's not pen pal or
The
it's
two
like
little girls.
I know
Yeah,
what
you
Dan
mean.
and I watched this episode for that
Imaginary
rewatch.
friend.
Yeah, that episode is great. She's a ghost girl too. I don't care
it's gonna
what
be
kind of scientific
interesting.
chicanery they throw at me. It's a ghost girl.
Well, I knew something was up as soon as she just started appearing. Not like we didn't see her flash into existence, but like, you know, there's moments where like no one really could have crossed the room and stood right in front of your bed in half a freaking second, and you're like, oh, that's disturbing. What's going on? And then she's like on the bridge, like, good job, Tilly. It's like, wait, where did you come from?
You know, somebody on Twitter was like, Did you guys know that she was a ghost girl before she was obviously a ghost girl?" And I was like, "Heck yeah!" Like that scene in the very beginning where the doctor and Saru are coming towards the bed and they do not look at her or acknowledge her in any way, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this girl's a ghost girl. I can smell a ghost girl from a mile away," and it was quite delightful.
Yeah, which is actually my new favorite book to read on the train, Ghost Girl.
Watching it the second time through,
The ghost girl with the dragon tattoo? Is that?
Well,
Watching
Darren,
it the
this is a family show, as you well know, Discovery.
yeah, the second time through it was like super painfully obvious because, which is fine. That's no problem or anything. But like you, that scene where you're talking about, Andy, in the med bay. She like literally she looks over and she sees the other people.
She kind of steps out of the way. Yeah.
She steps way back and looks all creepy and weird and then she says, "Oh, I saw you get hurt. I was with you." And we know she wasn't. She was alone that whole time when she was in the.
Why was nobody else in that entire giant shuttle bay at that moment? I thought I saw someone.
Hey,
the same reason-
Tilly
you got-
has experience with this. She eats in the cafeteria when no one else is around.
Yeah.
She transports people when no one else is around. She has a nose for being able to get to a place that's completely deserted. So that makes total sense to me.
And I will say though, I did like her motivation to find a better source of, you know, interface and power so that Stamets doesn't have to connect anymore. Because although I'm like, Stamets, when you're saying I see Q everywhere, yeah, you just had the little holographic thing on. He was 80 feet tall in front of you. Like, maybe don't do that if you're having trouble. I'm just, you know, maybe.
It's sweet and cute, and I get it. I like Stamets more and more.
And we don't necessarily know what he saw in this jump because he's obviously perturbed, but he doesn't say anything.
I thought that was severely underplayed, but I suppose that was the point. So
do we think those two things are related? Because that's kind of where the closest that I got to my theory was like,
oh, did she come out of the mycelial network?
Well, yeah, Stamets was literally talking about
she's
how
dead,
nobody.
and she's dead too.
Right.
So here's a thought. This depends on the fact that they are going to follow up on what they showed us in season 1, which I know.
Season 1?
But if you remember in season 1 when the little dot from the mushroom fell on Tilly uniform,
right?
So maybe this is.
Oh, maybe that is Ghost Girl jumping from mycelial network to I can only be seen by Tilly, which is probably the case.
Yeah, and it also would be how we know that Hugh is, or that the character is going to be throughout this season. You know, he's obviously going to be seen. So for whatever reason, maybe it's, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But that makes the most sense to me. Her not actually being a ghost, but whatever the mycelial magic is.
Or as much of a ghost as Dr. Culber is. I mean, because he's dead, but he's interacting with Hugh as if like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I think we're overlooking a very simple explanation for all of this, and it's a candle. Ghost candle.
No,
remember,
when Michael turned off the candle, she just did the little holographic thing, and they all went do. Which apparently, like, when you're
Good Lord.
ex-science
Michael had a lot of
officer...
candles in, Andy. What's going on in that room?
Because apparently everyone has holographic technology in their quarters now, but...
Oh, this is... for those who can see my room, it's not real. It's just I turn this off and y'all leave.
I would also like to point out that one thing that I super love about the whole like Sixth Sense, oh, now that you really think about it, she didn't touch anything and nobody looked at her thing, is it kind of makes me think of The Room, which is that super campy movie.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yeah, that movie where people will enter from one side and then enter from the same side. Like, I love that, and I wish that there was more of that on Discovery, so I'm all for more Ghost Girls entering from nowhere.
I mean, I guess I will say I'm not worried that we're not going to find out why, because we're only in episode 2 and we have a long time.
Oh no, Darren, she's never going to be referenced again. We're never going to hear about it again.
Season 3.
Bold choice, Discovery. Very bold choice.
What was the third plot line?
Oh, well, I just wanted to say the Tilly plot. I mean, this isn't a criticism, but maybe it is. It was very Doctor Who. Like, we don't often get in Star Trek, like, it's going to be, fuzzy bum time here if we don't, 5 seconds, everything's going to explode. Yeah. She's, like, running around with her sonic screwdriver.
Run, Mr. Stamets, run!
Trying to figure out everything and all by herself. And, it seemed a little like, okay, well, this is... And then she got her own companion, Ghost Girl. And
that's true.
I was just like, this is a different show. Okay.
Now, is part of the Tilly plot the space donut? Because we got to talk about the space donut.
Well, yeah. So the third part would be the bridge stuff.
Okay.
Stuff
The science mission.
Stamets, but yeah.
The Saru crew.
Can I just say that one of my favorite all-time things in Star Trek is group problem solving, and I never know what anybody is saying, and I don't really care. But I just enjoy everybody.
There wasn't crazy technobabble.
Yeah.
I didn't even follow. I'm pretty technobabbly. I didn't follow this one. I was like,
I don't ever even try, man. No idea. Lasers and gravitational shifts and whatever. I don't care. But I do love that, like, the way the camera would like follow them. So it was like this like group converse. I love that. Like, unabashedly love that. And I would like to point out, Darren brought it up a little bit, but the run, Mr. Stamets part, the weird, awkward...
You have 3 minutes.
Hop
Go,
that
Mr.
Anthony
Stamets.
Rapp does when he's about to run is underrated as, like, one of the best acting choices he's ever made. Like, this weird, like, hesitation, and then he, like, kind of hops to it. Like,
yes,
literally is so funny, and I love Anthony Rapp.
I did again. Whatever. I'm going with it. The whole like, oh yeah. So you need I was listening to the plot outside.
Yeah, that's true.
I know what's going on.
Yeah. It's I'm so with you, Andy. It's like, and I think Discovery has the chance to do this the best because it feels the most frenetic and the most collaborative. Like, and all of these characters, even though we don't know them, and like this is the first season, I really feel like we're actually starting to learn and know them. It's already like, yeah, this guy's doing this, and this lady over here is doing that, and Robot Lady is gonna go do that. It's like awesome, and it feels so exciting, and I love those scenes too. Those are the best parts because for some reason Discovery feels, it's even with Pike here, it doesn't feel like super center led. It just feels like everybody is kind of. Everybody's
in season 2. I mean, it was definitely more.
Yeah, well, you just have like primary and secondary, and we just follow some random primary characters, and then we have all our secondaries under
Yeah, and that's true. And this wasn't a Wosekan episode.
Joanna, apparently,
but by having her on the A plot story, we learn more about her. And I think that's kind of how we're going to get it. Like, you're going to have, so far it's been the Saru plot. Not that it's about Saru, but he's like leading, it's like Saru sciencey stuff and, Michael Burnham and Pike figuring out a objective mission stuff. And whoever's attached to their respective missions, like, we get more about them.
My problem was I wanted one dialogue with her, like when they first get to the planet, let's just say, and they're walking up to the church, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Lieutenant."
No,
Joanna, right?
Oh,
yeah. When they're like,
this reminds me of my town. We also had
exactly
a wooden church.
or Pike saying, or Pike saying, "Hey, Lieutenant, I heard you grew up in a Luddite colony on Earth in the 22nd century. That sounds super interesting."
Or make sure you don't directly challenge their beliefs, guys, because that's not going to go over real well. Trust me.
She's like, I just learned what a phaser was 5 years ago. Or I
wanted more for her to do. I wanted her to like maybe she had the idea that saved them. Like I know she does the whole
magnet.
Did you not see the magnet?
The magnet scene.
I know she does the magnet.
Because
thing.
Daniel, only a Luddite knows how to use a magnet. One who's been in Starfleet Academy.
If they know what north is, then they must have magnets. It's all connected.
I should say
Pike and Michael would have been stuck in that basement for like 20 years.
No, come on. One of the nicest things about that is like they are free basically the moment they are conscious again. Like
I was gonna say they weren't tied up. Nothing.
Basement door with a bolt on it is gonna keep this team stuck there for more than 0.047 seconds. Okay, they are gone immediately, and I enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wanted a little more. Just
Although,
a little more.
I maybe it's because I've been watching a lot of the Orville 2, where they don't have transporters, because as soon as they get there, I'm thinking, man, how are they going to land their shuttle? And I'm like, oh, that's right, they have transporters. They can literally get to the planet surface in like half a second. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
But Saru, going back to like the bridge crew stuff, one of the things that is kind of going back to his awesome captaining earlier. Like, he really has very much grown into this captain's role. Like, the moment where...
He's really confident.
Yeah, confident. You remember when he was, like, Googling good captains?
Yeah. And Pike showed up. Pike was
showed
on
up.
I know, and he was like, computer.
Pike, can you sign my pad? I have it.
Please.
It's like on a scale of April to Pike.
How bad of a captain am I? Like, that was...
He's taking his BuzzFeed captain quiz.
Exactly, like... And now he's sitting there and he's handed, like, okay, not only is this entire planet going to have an extinction level event, but your entire away team's going to die too.
Well,
and
I think at that point they
minutes.
didn't even know if they were cut off, because, like, I don't think he even tried to raise the captain. He was literally like, okay.
No, they did.
The radiation.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the radiation.
That's right.
Like, they couldn't...
Can't do shuttle, can't do transporter, whatever you're about to suggest, Darren.
It
answers
doesn't
they
work
thought about it.
because of the radiation.
Can we spore jump into the
Radiation.
atmosphere and wave him down? Be like, Captain, gotta get back on ship. We gotta get out of here.
Well, like, to his credit, they're like, hand him this thing. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. We're gonna fix this. It's our job to fix
we
this,
are
and so
Starfleet.
we are. So get to work.
Yeah.
Get me a
I was waiting
workable
for
plan.
everyone to stand up and be like, we are Oh, did you want me to go ahead and do that?
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I'll push the button.
But I just really enjoyed that kind of like effortless, like, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's not what's gonna happen.
If Saru had glasses, like sunglasses, he'd be like, nah. He'd put them on, like, not on my watch.
Nah, bro. Nah,
One
bro.
of my Twitter followers, because I love them, I made a point about how this still from Discovery Season 1 looked like Saru and Burnham were walking onto the bridge to X Gonna Give It To You. And one of my Twitter followers actually, like, photoshopped really cool Ray-Bans on them, and it looks exactly like that. Like, they're walking in slow motion to 90s rap. That's the kind of Saru
there's a
energy
thing
that
from
I am looking
Kelpia.
for. And that
It was
he is
called
totally
the
bringing
Drift.
me.
We're gonna learn how to use it now. Detmer, go.
He's just like, get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bridge stuff was really great as well.
So I did like Dietmar, I think, was on the same page as me, where Tilly's like, you're gonna do a donut in space, isn't that cool? And she's like, oh god, you're hard to take. Okay.
He's like, it is, but I still have to do it, and it's really difficult, apparently. But
all right, so that was let's do some closing thoughts here, guys. Andi, you're our guest. What do you think? This is episode 2 of season 2. You sound like you're mostly on board, but what do you
New Eden or newest Eden?
Yeah, I like it. It's one of those things where I like it, but I feel like so much of it is shiny, if that makes sense. Like, they kind of dazzle you with all of the really cinematic special effects, and they're like, and this is happening, and this is happening, and this is happening. And then you're like, oh, okay. I'm on board, and it's, like, fun. But then when you start to break it down, you're like, also ridiculous. But
Sugar.
I am not someone who is turned off by ridiculous, and I think you all know that about me. So if I sit down and I enjoy the episode and it mainly makes sense, I am happy. And for me, way more important is whether or not the characterization is coming together, whether or not it emotionally feels true. And I think this is probably the closest that Discovery has gotten to having the crew feel emotionally true, if that makes sense. And I'm really enjoying seeing everybody kind of grow and everybody grow together. And like, one of the things that was hardest for me when the first season of Discovery was like, they didn't trust each other. They didn't even really like each other that much. And that was a little bit hard for me because that's interesting, but also this is Star Trek, and I watch Star Trek to watch a bunch of insanely competent people love each other in space. And so I finally feel like we're getting that vibe much more, and that makes me happy. So overall, I think it's improving, especially on tone issues that I had. So yeah, I liked it.
Great, Phillip. What about you?
Yeah, I like I said, I enjoyed this episode. I mean, obviously we had fun with it. We weren't here just, complaining about it the whole time. And I think it's one of those episodes where you could watch, like, get your adult beverage late at night and do all the voices. It'd be a good episode to do it to that. But I think the arc, again, we've talked before, I'm not a fan of, but unlike season 1, the arc's a little lighter. Not that, in other words,
the arc isn't war, which is
it's also not like 100% in the story. Like,
right.
I can enjoy, it's the landing on the church and Stamets is missing sexy Wilson Cruz and whatever. Like, that's it's an independent episodic thing with a little sprinkle of arc, and that's how I like it. You can have an arc, it's fine, doesn't need to, but it's like there's breathing room in these episodes. Like, I can imagine maybe a week has passed and then a week will pass and next up, it's not like 5 seconds after each one of these things and you're just like, give me a chance. But no, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, if I'm starting to do ranking here, I liked episode 1 a little better than episode 2, but it was enjoyable and had fun.
Great. And Darren, what about you?
Yeah, two things for me. One, when we were doing our recap a couple weeks ago about season 1 of Discovery, I mentioned that I felt like, except for maybe 1, maybe 2 episodes, I didn't really ever feel an urge to like rewatch anything, just because it was like, if you're gonna rewatch the whole thing because it's all just so interconnected. But with this season so far, I mean, like Phillip was saying, I could rewatch this just for the parts with the donut maneuver and all the Tilly stuff. Like, I would rewatch this just for that. And with Brother, I would rewatch that for all the awesome stuff on the asteroid, So while I don't feel like so far I would want to rewatch it for any of the Red Angel stuff, because that's still yet to be fleshed out, that in my book is a good point towards Discovery for season 2. My other point was, what do we think about Crazy Spock? Because this is where we learn that Spock is not only on leave, he self-admitted him to the psychiatric hospital. He's going all Benny on his whiteboards on the walls. And is it real? Is the angels real? We got to find out. So what did we think about? I mean, obviously we're gonna go find him, because I think that's happening next episode.
Darren, Pepe Sylvia, he doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. Carol. That's what I want to see from Spock. If we don't get a mental hospital scene where he's like written on the walls, I will be very disappointed.
Watch, Burnham walks in and he smiles and she's like, oh crap, he's gone. He is off the walls insane.
I think we've explained the beard now, though. He isn't
crazy beard.
The psychiatric ward.
Is his Vulcan pee in jars? That's the question. Has he gone off the bend? So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. And
Michael smushes him with the pillow, throws the chair out the window, and Michael runs out.
And we didn't mention that this episode was directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yay, Frakes!
That's right.
Maybe they put his episode a little earlier so that if he spoiled it, it wasn't like the mid-season cliffhanger finale.
Yeah.
Why haven't they hired Gates to direct too? They should hire Gates.
Let's get them all back.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because they're all going to be working on the new Picard show. Yay!
Or the thousands of other shows that we're going to get very soon.
Right.
So,
those are my points. Yeah. Overall, a good episode that I enjoyed and would rewatch.
I like the episode for the most part. I really wish Discovery would slow down. It doesn't feel like it takes its time with anything, and it feels like it's constant. It's like a freight train. I stopped the episode right before they went to the credits, and we were at 43 minutes and 15 seconds. And if you factor in the opening credits, the last time on Discovery, the next time on Discovery, we're talking 38 minutes now, runtime, and it's just.
It's all those commercials on All Access and Netflix that take up all the time.
If you want to slow down, just watch it with commercials, Daniel. I mean, that's the way to go.
No, I'm okay not doing that. It's just, it constantly feels to me like it just doesn't take any time to just breathe. But like you were mentioning, Andy, the tone is so much better than season 1. The characters, I love that we're getting to know these side characters. That's the stuff I care about. I really just care less and less already about this Red Angel Spock stuff that's going on, and because I know it's not going to be satisfying. Whatever, you can. Maybe I'm wrong, but we learned from last season when they're like, oh, this thing's we'll follow up on all these things. We'll follow up on the spore drive. It'll all make sense. No, it's not gonna. We'll follow up on the death of Dr. Culber. It'll all make. No, it's not. You're not gonna do. It's just.
So it's like that first celebrity wedding where the marriage lasted 2 months, and now there's a second wedding, and you're like, no, yeah, I'm sure this one could work out.
Yeah, sure, maybe. But so that stuff is just totally uninteresting to me, but I'm getting into all the other stuff. This is so much more fun. This is so much more energetic. It's more uplifting and traditional Star Trek with all the character stuff. I do love that stuff side of it. So I'm definitely liking the season more than last, and we'll see where we go next.
And what exciting colonies all the other bridge characters are from.
Yes, that will be interesting. That'd be cool if that became a running gag.
Detmer is from a outlaw band of street drifters.
Oh yeah, Bryce is from a painter's colony, and this artist that we're trying to.
Where is Robo Lady from?
What about Proto Geordie? We need to know all these things.
Okay, so that was it for episode 2 of season 2 of Discovery. Andy, if people want to get a hold of you and talk to you about all sorts of things Star Trek Discovery, and maybe perhaps Anson Mount's jawline, how would they find you?
Well, you shouldn't talk to me. That's a mistake. But if you must, I am on Twitter at FirstTimeTrek, and I'm kind of live tweeting my way through Star Trek slowly. Like, very slowly.
Do you still have some other Star Trek left? Where are you at?
Oh my gosh,
Where's
Daniel, you sweet summer child.
you're like second season DS9 or something. Aren't you?
Oh, you're fourth season you. Excuse you.
Sorry.
And second season Voyager. It's happening.
Double dipping.
It's happening. It's just really slow.
Can you watch 3 Star Trek shows at the same time and keep it all straight?
Follow Andy and find out.
Give it 9 months and there'll be 12 Star Trek shows.
I just saw a Voyager episode with Joel Grey fighting fascism.
Oh,
it was pretty good. I liked it.
That was good. Yeah, good one.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, check out Andy's Twitter because there's lots of interesting stuff going on there. Phillip, how would people get a hold of you if they wanted to talk about all sorts of things, rural churches?
Yes.
Designs.
I mean, I got married in a rural church, I can tell you. But you can find me on Twitter at NC Public Servant, and I am looking forward to episode 3, Point of Light.
Oh, nice. And Darren, who is from California, Earth, how would people get a hold of you if they needed to?
They'll find me stocking my church with a emergency future supply just in case. So it's ready to go. Some important, formulas, a little bit of basic materials, and a lot of AA batteries. But they can find me on Twitter, Instagram under Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCIFI.
And if people wanted to find me and learn why science is absolutely not a religion, and I will talk very long and very in-depth about this, you can find me on Twitter as well, at OneUpDan. That's the number 1, not the word.
I enjoy your stained glass, Daniel, where you explain all your science concepts.
Yeah.
Is it just all like code and formulas?
It's
in
like the
stained
Matrix.
glass? I feel
DNA
bad for those
helixes.
stained glass people because that's got to be really hard to make.
Yeah, they haven't invented the internet, but they know how to do stained glass. Yeah, their
right.
artisans are pretty good.
I'm just surprised there's not more memes.
That'd be great if one of their stained glass windows was a meme. That would be amazing. All right, for this week, that's it. I'm Daniel Prue,
I'm Philip Kilfus.
I'm Darren Moser.
stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.